Hi, this is Trisha from Lemon Paper Lab. In this video, I'm going to show you how to use one of my pattern starter templates. This template is designed to help create multicolor chevron patterns. This template will be available to download in my Patreon page. I also have this template and more in my Ultimate Pattern Maker Toolkit for Photoshop, which includes all of my Photoshop templates and actions to help improve your workflow when designing in Photoshop. And I will leave a link in the description below to both my Patreon page and this toolkit. The template we are looking at today is a 1:1 ratio, 7200 pixels by 7200 pixels, and this is template 8. Currently, I have the template open here. You'll notice that we have 5 different artboards. We have a artboard for the pattern that would be considered one color, and then we have an artboard for each of the different colors, so that would make it a 4-colored pattern. Here in the layers panel, we see our artboards, and then we have our smart object here. In the template, we have the various repeats of this item. So we'll go ahead and double click into the smart object. Here in the layers panel, we see 3 pre-made layers here for you. We have one that's like a chevron, we have a curve 1, and then a slightly different curve, curve 2. So we'll go ahead and turn our chevron curve back on. This was made using the pen tool. So if we access the pen tool, you can easily change the stroke width of it. So let's go ahead and make it larger. Let's go 800 pixels here, and that will increase the size of our chevron. So let's go ahead and save that. Command or Control S to save it. And then we'll jump back into our template document here. We can see that our smart objects have been updated, and now we are going to go ahead and save these. So included with this template is an action that you will need to load into Photoshop. You'll want to make sure your Actions panel is open. To find that, you'll go to Window, selecting Actions here, and then hitting the menu icon, we'll click on Load Actions. Here you want to open the .atn file, which is Photoshop's version for actions, and then just click on Open. I have the action right here, and there is one action. We see that it says define 5 patterns. We have 5 artboards, so I'm going to go ahead and click play to play that action. And then what we see here in the patterns panel is we have our newly saved patterns here. So let's go ahead and open a new document to test these out. So I'm going to go to File, New. Using the same dimensions of our artboard, we have 7200 pixels by 7200 pixels, resolution 300 pixels per inch, color mode RGB color, and we'll go ahead and click on Create. We'll go ahead and select our first pattern here, and I'm going to reduce the scale here. Let's go down to 25%. We can see our chevron pattern here, and then let's go ahead and add a solid color adjustment layer. I'm just going to right click, create clipping mask, and then we'll duplicate this layer, Command or Control J. Going to drag this to the bottom. We'll set our background color FFF to white, and we have our 2 colors. We'll go ahead and shift click. I am going to duplicate this, Command or Control J. So with this highlighted section, I am going to group this, Command or Control G to group. And then we'll just go with 1 color here. And then we are going to make one with 4 colors. So I'm just going to select these top 2 layers, and I'm going to duplicate it 3 times. Command or Control J to duplicate it. So then we have 4 different ones, and then I'm just going to select some colors here from my swatch panel. Okay. And then we will select our different patterns. And then we will need to turn off the visibility of this one color, and so now we can see our multicolor pattern here. So let's go ahead and jump back into our template. Let's go ahead and let's do this process again. So we'll go into our smart object. Let's go ahead and change our stroke width here again. So let's go to 400 pixels, and then I'm going to duplicate this. So Command or Control J, and then just using my move tool here, let's just drag it down a little bit. Okay, and then let's go ahead and save this, Command or Control S. Jumping back into our template, we can see our smart object has been updated. So we'll go ahead and use our action again to find 5 patterns. We'll click on play, and then we'll test this out in our document here. So we'll click on this first one. As I click on this first one here, I notice that it's not going to align with our previous pattern, and that is because there is one step that I did not do. So I'm going to take these 2 items, and then I am going to bring it up here just to center it a little bit more. So we'll go ahead and save this, Command or Control S. We'll go back to our template. We'll click play again. We'll save that. We'll go ahead and test it out here. And then we'll hit the 3rd version. So what's fun is with this is you can mix and match your patterns, or we can see the full version here of the various, and you can just play with it. In this case, I probably should have pushed those a little bit closer together given the thickness and the spacing, but it's something you can easily adjust as you're working in this template. So let's jump back into our smart object here. I'm going to turn off the visibility there, and then we do have some curved layers which you can play with as well. So let's go ahead and save this one here, Command or Control S. Jumping into our template here, we can see it. We'll go ahead and save that one here as well. And then we can test it out in our document. So if we just want to look at our one color version, we can see our pattern like that. Or we can look at our multicolor. And there we have our multicolor version of this pattern. So this is a fun template that you can use to create unique patterns that are chevrons or this kind of wave shape effect. I hope you enjoy using this template. This template will be available to download in my Patreon page. I also have this template and more in my Ultimate Pattern Maker Toolkit for Photoshop, which includes all of my Photoshop templates and actions to help improve your workflow when designing in Photoshop. And I will leave a link in the description below to both my Patreon page and this toolkit. Thank you for watching this video. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and leave me a comment below. This is Trisha from Lemon Paper Lab. See you next time.